Good morning, everybody. Today is day 229. It is September 21st, 2023, and it is 10:35 a.m. in the morning. I, for some reason, keep forgetting to turn my fan on, so let's get that on because it's hotter out here than I was expecting for it to be. I'll push the button one more time. I might as well just turn it on from the base, right? Okay, so yesterday I had some information I was supposed to share and I forgot. But this time I remembered. So I wrote all of my notes yesterday. And I'm happy that I did, you guys, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was trying to sleep in. I didn't know that my husband was gonna come back home. Usually, if he does, he tells me because, you know, I record, and if that door opens, I mean, you hear everything. Well, with the technology of phones, you kind of pick up everything anyway, right? So far as sound or anything visual, stuff like that. So it's kind of, I guess, expected, but yeah. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get up. I wasn't sure when he was going to go ahead and leave again. My thought process is, if I get enough sleep at night and in the early morning, then I won't sleep during the day. Unless I end up drinking something that makes me sleepy. I mean, obviously wine makes you sleepy. You guys know I drink wine sometimes. So, I mean, have that with a meal and just might get sleepy. Okay, so we're up to 15 incline. All right, so speed today, as close to 2 as possible. I don't know if I'm going to do a 2.1. I guess after a while, if you don't walk at the speed you get yourself up to, it's like you have to get used to the speeds in between all over again. So I don't really feel like doing that. And my eye just caught something. I think something's flying in here. I really hope not, because I don't feel like trying to fan stuff away. I don't know if it's a fly or what it was, but even though I wear glasses, usually if it's a bug, I'm like on it, right? Okay, so not too much gets past me if it's something like that. Glasses or no glasses. But yeah, so yesterday I thought I had the time, write the notes. Sometimes I write the notes the next day, and it leads to me coming out here, you know, kind of later, like closer to noon. I mean, like I was awake at 6, 5 something in the morning. I don't even really know how much I slept between last night and early this morning, so I was like, I don't even feel like guessing. I could feel I needed another hour or two, and even though I got it, I was still sleepy. But when I heard the door again, I was like, I didn't know it was coming back, but I just need to go ahead and just get up. I probably could have slept until about 1 o'clock, honestly. I think I'm just tired of all the sleep I lose, so I decided I need to make up for that. It's going to catch up to me, and that's not going to be good. I will find myself waking up at 4 p.m. in the afternoon if I don't do something. So I'm trying to see how it's going. Of course, I actually have to sleep to get the sleep, right? So I could tell this morning was just not one of those, it's 4 a.m., it's 5 a.m., okay, it's 6, I might as well get up because I've been awake all that time anyway. Okay, so we're at 1.5 for speed right now. And I'm trying, but you know, I have to slowly speed this thing up. Okay, oops, I did not mean to do that. That went up 2 instead of 1. So let me let it catch up to itself. We're almost there, almost, we're close to 2. All right. This thing is squeaking already. Okay. We're at 2. Let it catch up. All right, 3 minutes, 22 seconds, and counting so far. Okay, so let me look at my notes. Okay, I'm starting on this side of the page today. All right, so right before I came out here, I went ahead and said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and weigh myself, and I wasn't below the lowest point I've been within the past week or so. I'm kind of fluctuating now, and so I thought if it's not below 158.5, don't even document it. I had got back up to like 160, and I know it said 159 point something, so I'm going back down, but I need to get below 158.5. Okay, so the almost losing a pound a day has stopped, and now this fluctuating thing is going on. Okay, so I was supposed to give you guys an update on supplies versus what I'm saving for when I do my nails. As you guys know, I can't do them for 6 months. There's gonna be a revisit on that in 3 to see. And I don't know, looking at the progression of the medicine, how it's helping, I don't know if it's working faster because of the white vinegar and warm water. But like I said, I think he meant to say 6 weeks for the medicine. I don't think he meant 6 months, because like I said, he told me that, in 3 months, in December, that'd be kind of perfect timing. And 6 weeks is like what, a month and 2 weeks? And so, I don't know, maybe he did mean months. Maybe I'm just trying to be hopeful. But either way it goes, I still can't do anything until I see him again in December, so I'll find out then. I'm pretty sure he meant months. Like I said, that's just me having wishful thinking. But yeah, but my toes. I still can do my toes. My toes are fine. No problems there. And they're not polished right now. I'm just letting them breathe and stuff like that. I have not decided if I'm going to go ahead and do that pedicure next week. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to the shop I was going to, or if I'm going to go back to the one I was going to before that. Kind of just got rubbed the wrong way last time I was there. And so yeah, it's hard to find a place here because the town is so small that you like. And like I said, honestly, I just didn't like how the guy tried to play it off like I didn't tell him the information I told him on the phone. And of course, I didn't let it slide in the shop either. So I wasn't rude about it, but like I said, if you know I told you something, don't say I didn't. So just so happens they had the most customers I've seen in there at one time, which I would know why, because at the shop I was going to, I told you my girls, they left. They went back to where they had moved from, and so I know that was going to increase their customer base anyway. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to put him on blast, but he wasn't going to stand there and say I didn't tell him what I had told him on the phone, because I did. So of course I reminded him in person. I'm not that person anymore to where I just kind of let it go, because sometimes you have to defend yourself and say something, right? And I know that they were going to have an increase of client base, but still, I did tell him. So with that said, that was my new pedicure place, and I don't know, I actually still am annoyed by that when I think about it. So in the other shop, I don't know how they're going to do the pedicures because all the people are new, but I know what I'm looking for. So do I bite down and go to my new pedicure shop, or do I go back to where I was going before and see if I like the pedicures from the new people? I'll see. I have until next week to decide, but I would need to call and make the appointments. Matter of fact, I believe I have actually a week and a half, so I'll figure out something. But anyway, the supplies. Okay, so I have everything numbered here, and I always start with all supplies, so you guys know that it had went up because I had bought some stuff. And to actually be honest with you guys, it went up again, and I did not include that in. I got the protein bond from Young Nails. I got the no lint nail wipes, and then the swipe, which is supposed to clean and dehydrate your nails. And I believe I ordered them before I saw the doctor, not knowing I was gonna have to wait that long to not do my nails. Like I said, my plan was let it clear up, let it grow out, and then start back, right? And so I wouldn't have waited 6 months. So I'm trying to remember what it cost. I think we got the 10% because we went ahead and just, my husband made an account, and it was his first order. So now, no more for first orders, but at least we got the percentage off for it. And it came up to like 65 bucks. So what I think I will do is I'll tell you the numbers, I'll tell you what they equal, and just add 65 actually to that, right? Because I would have added it to the beginning number anyway. Okay, so we were already at $1,981.51 for all supplies. Like I said, remember, there's a kitchen island in there, dual or multi-purpose, just for recording period when we finally get the room put together, a surface to have, and I believe I actually did add in the dust collector, stuff like that, because remember I had to add it in from last time. So I'm saying everything, polishes, powders, brushes, you name it, anything I use to do my nails is added in the all supplies. Okay, so the nail takeoff, I thought, I'm pretty sure it would not have been $8. That one place I went to that one time in the city over, I think honestly if I just wanted them to soak everything off, I think they would charge me like $15, maybe even $20. Okay, so I added the soak off, and the pedicure would have been the same price even if I didn't get any polish. Okay, so I kind of feel like I gave myself a little spot treatment this last time, and I won't say that I did a little more because obviously I didn't repaint them, but I think it was the care that I gave them, okay? But I didn't pick like, oh, the one with the paraffin wax price. I did stick to what it would have cost. So remember, it includes tip and taxes because we pay taxes and services out here, haircuts, nail salons, anything considered a service gets taxed. Okay, so the new total of what we saved so far is $401, and the total, subtracting that from that 1980 whatever, is $1,580.57. Okay, necessary supplies. Oh, plus that adds $65 back. So here we go with this mental math again. Let's see. Adding 20 would make it equal 1,600. Adding another 40 would make it 1,640. Adding 5 would make it 1,645 and 57 cents. Okay. Necessary supplies. $1,450.77 minus $401 equals $1,449.77. And like I said, just tack the $65 back on that. Okay, so that would push it back up over $1,100, right? Okay, so remember I questioned the salon step and practice hand if they were really necessary. And at this point, I mean, I've already told you guys the numbers without them, so I might as well just keep it the same. Next time I do the numbers, I might leave this out because I would have to say that they are necessary because I'm using them to learn, and I'm using them for my pedicures. This last time, I didn't even bother. If I had to do what I call yoga poses or Pilates or whatever just to get the polish off and to file them, trim them down, things like that, I just did it. I just couldn't. I just didn't feel like bringing out the mat that the salon step sits on. I thought by the time I unfolded and everything like that, I already could have had the polish off, and the polish fought me too. This color was really pretty, it was really bright, and so it took a little bit longer to get it off. So without the salon step and practice hand, then the total was $1,582.21 minus 401 equaled $1,181.21. Okay, like I said, plus the 65. I think I'm done buying supplies now that I know that I can't do anything to them, except for keep them kind of trimmed down and treat them. So yeah. Okay, so the next part, I want to make sure I mention this, but we're going to do a time check. 13 minutes and 35 seconds. I don't really think I need water, but should drink some anyway, right? Okay, because my mouth is a little dry, but I have to do salt water and medicated mouthwash because when I was brushing my teeth and stuff like that, I thought that was sauce and it wasn't. So yeah, I'll tell you guys, if it's not one thing with me, it's another. So I'm gonna see what happens when I brush my teeth later to see if the same thing happens, and then if it does, I'll do it again. Okay, so let's see. All right, next, the sign that I told you guys about yesterday. I told you guys I would do everything. I would tell you the name of the company, all the other stuff. I want to make sure I mention this first. This is, you get so tired of saying this, right? Sometimes it doesn't even make a difference. You have to still prove it. But this is not a paid promotion. I haven't even bought the sign yet. Seeing that that coupon was still there, I still didn't buy it. Okay, but I'm also not being paid to make this part of the video to do any type of advertising for this company. Okay, again, hopefully the algorithm listens. This is not a paid promotion, okay, in any way, shape, or form. I don't even have the sign still customized. I canceled it, okay? So I did do like a, what's that called, a mock-up? Or I guess you could say a pretend selection to see what the total will come up to at the bottom. Okay, and I also went in the steps that you would go through if you go through them in order to customize your own sign. Okay, so the sign company is named Aiddwrron. Hopefully I said that right. I had planned on putting the name somewhere like in the video. I was gonna look and see if I could fit it above my head where I'm walking at right now, or if I had enough seconds I waited before I came into the camera view to put it there. But if I don't have it somewhere in the video before I start talking about it, then I'll just have it in the description box. And I am debating on the link, because when people search for it, obviously they're going to think that that's going to probably show the sign and everything, and it's not, because like I said, I didn't even order it. But I got to thinking, what if someone else, another viewer, wants to? Okay, so I'll go ahead and put the Amazon link in the description box as well. Okay, so part of the title is Aiddwrron. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, right here. Personalized large LED neon light sign, optional 16 inches to 55 inches. On the sale page, the price shows $58.87 with a 40% off coupon. Like I said, this is offered to anyone that wants to order the sign. Keep in mind, I saw the coupon yesterday, but this has been the same coupon that's been there since I've been talking on and off a little bit about the sign and everything like that. In fact, I was thinking about having one made for when I finally can record inside permanently, even with this walk. Okay, because the plan is to put the treadmill inside the house. Okay, so this is just the first basic option, your first choice. So this is the smallest sign you can have, the least amount of rows, and the least amount of characters. Okay, that's how I did the pricing first. Okay, so I selected the 16-inch, 1 row, max 8 characters. Number 2, you choose from 18 different fonts. Number 3, your sign color choices are white, warm white, pink, hot pink, ice blue, blue, red, yellow, purple, green, and orange. Okay, your first thing that you do is you pick a sign text. Okay, so it's that box, and you type what you want your sign to say. Okay, and yes, you can see a preview on the same page. If you go back up, it'll show you. Okay, so number 5, the next thing that you would end up paying for if you chose an option other than none is add pattern options. Okay, so like I said, starting with none, there's no price change. If you want to add EST, it will be an additional $12.99. If you want to add part A, it's $4.99. Part B, same thing, $4.99. If you want to add a moon, $4.99. If you want to add a lightning bolt, it's $6.99. A crown, $9.99. Or a butterfly, $9.99. And where these patterns would be placed would be after whatever you typed. Okay, so I did write them to ask them if I made the writing with an emoji, if they can do it, and I forgot to check and see if they wrote me back. The only thing I could do is pause the video and go back in and see. I don't know, because with this book, I don't really have the space coming outward from the treadmill so that it wouldn't slip off and fall. Maybe I'll start bringing my tablet out just in case I forget something so that I can go ahead and check and see. Now, I do not have to be connected to some type of internet, but I think even though we don't have really good Wi-Fi, I think that I can actually still view stuff and still be connected to our Wi-Fi that's inside. My hotspot on my phone, I don't know if that would stop the phone from recording, so I'll see. But that might just have to be information I give tomorrow. I'm already, 20 minutes and 39 seconds in. The only other thing I can think of is when I finish, to pause to run inside real quick, check on my computer and come back out and tell you guys. So maybe I'll do that. Okay, so number 6 is neon covered color when light is off. Remember I told you guys about that yesterday? If you pick white, there's no extra charge. If you pick the same color as when the light is on, it's an additional $4.55. Okay, so the 7th step is the neon backboard shape. Text shape, clear. And like I said, keep in mind if I say clear, it's referring, like I said, to the backboard itself. Okay? None. Round, rectangular clear, $4.55. And I'm not sure why it said round. Maybe it's talking about the edges, because I didn't really notice a difference. But yes, $4.55, just in case I forgot. Text shape black. Okay, so the backboard will be black. $4.55. Round rectangular black, $4.55. Rectangular outline clear board, $16.50. Rectangular outline black board, $16.50. The next option you have is lighting adjustment. Remember I told you guys you either have a dimmer or a remote. So line dimmer, none. Remote, $6.99. But don't forget that I believe at that point you would have an option. I don't know if you can change the color of the light itself, but I think with the remote, what you would change is what it does. Like I said yesterday, does it stay solid? Does it flash? Things like that. Okay, so you might have more options on the remote, and who knows? I don't know. You might actually be able to change the color. Okay, so don't quote me on that. Just make sure you ask. Either write them before you order, or I'll tell you about number 10 when we get down there, because you still have 2 more options. So number 9, you get to choose if you want it waterproof, and they recommend if you're going to use the sign outside to have it waterproof. Okay, so if you say no, it's none. If you want to add waterproofing, then it's $6.99. And like I said, number 10 is order note, and that's optional. Okay, so you have anything you want to ask them, anything you, I don't know, might want done. I have not a clue exactly what you can put in the notes, but there is like a little paragraph, and I think it gives you just some ideas. Like if you want to ask them certain questions, that's where you will put it. Okay, so it gives like examples, I think. Okay, so let's go back over, because like I said, I went basic. Okay, and I did different pricings for this part. Okay, so going back to the first thing you choose, like I said, 16-inch, 1 row, max 8 characters. For the pattern, I chose none. For the neon cover, I chose white. For the neon backboard shape, I chose text shade clear. For the lighting adjustment, I chose line dimmer. And if you just do that, and then you don't do waterproofing. So waterproofing, I chose none. The price was $58.87. Okay, so if you say pretty basic, then the price you saw before you go to the customized page, that's the price it would be. That's before the 40% off. So the 40% off will give you $23.55 off. Your total price will be $35.32 before taxes, because remember you have to pay tax on your Amazon orders now, right? Okay, now, if you chose to have all those options that I just said, but with the remote, then you would start off with $65.86, and your 40% off will be $26.34. So your assigned total price will be $39.52. And like I said, you guys, that's a pretty good price, especially if it's a really good quality, because at 16 inches, the sign is taller than a foot. So the smallest sign you can have them made, you still have a 1 foot 4 inch sign. So I think that's pretty cool. Especially since you can still have it with a light color choice. Okay, so if you want, let's see here, with the remote and waterproof, you start off with $72.85 minus the $29.14 for your 40% off. Your total would still be $43.71. So that's not bad to be able to control it with a remote and to have it be waterproof. You never know. You might end up taking the sign outside. So I think that's still a really good price. That's not that much more than what you would pay if you just did basic options. Okay, so another time check, 26 minutes, 44 seconds. Okay, so what I did was I said, you know what, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information, because there are so many options, you guys. I believe the max rows that you can have, I think, are 3. I could be wrong. But I thought, what if the person wants 2 rows? What would be the smallest sign size? It would be 20 inches. And your max characters per line is 10. Okay? So it said plus $79. So I think what they did was they took the $58.87 and added the 79. Okay. Then, so that would be the first thing you do, right? Is you would pick the size. If you wanted no pattern, of course, no additional charge, cover color white, text shape clear, and that's talking about the shape of the sign itself, the line dimmer, and no waterproof. Then your total will be $137.87, but remember your 40% off. Okay, so that gives you $55.15 off. Your total will be $82.72. If you wanted it with the remote, your total will be $144.86 minus $57.95 for a total of $86.91. If you want it with the remote and waterproof, $151.85 minus $60.74, which would give you a total of $91.11. Like I said, keep in mind that is before taxes. Okay, so mean, if you think about it, your sign will be, what is that, almost 2 feet tall. I mean, it's only short by 4 inches of 2 feet. And I think that if it sounds like something that you would want, I mean, honestly, that's still not a bad price for what you're getting. Just take a look at the video and see if you would like it. Okay, so like I said, if I were to go back to the other page, I would choose the 16-inch, 1 row, max 8 characters, especially if they can do the emoji. And like I said, the options I told you guys, but I would want the remote and waterproof. So, I mean, that's not bad. Honestly, after the discount, $43.71, I think is kind of cool. And then I could find out, I would assume obviously the door is open. Then since the door in a room usually tends to open inward, right? I could just use the remote. If I'm here by myself, I wouldn't need to light it up, but maybe my video will be a review on the sign itself, right? So if I wanted to show it to you guys, either I would have to prop it up against something on the kitchen island, because the kitchen island obviously is flat. And either way it goes, like I said yesterday, I would risk it falling. So I possibly would hang it on the door and review it that way. Okay, so I have a few different options of how to review it. And I didn't think about that, to do a review once I got it, to tell you guys what I like about it. Of course, if you're like me, you want to see it in person. But I mean, a video of the person's very detailed, like I am, could kind of give you an idea. Like, oh, the material feels cheap or it feels solid. You know, obviously if you drop it, it would most likely break, but maybe not, depending. If it falls, like maybe, I don't know, on carpet, if it doesn't fall that far and the floor is tile. But the chain, because like I said, I think it comes with a chain. And so I can tell you guys the quality of the chain. Is it kind of made to where I would think, like, say the hole that the chain is connected to, if the chain itself doesn't feel that sturdy, then I could tell you guys, does it seem like the hole itself would end up breaking if it fell, meaning that there would be an opening so you couldn't even hang it back up? Or would I think there's a possibility that, let's say, when the link breaks on the chain, maybe from the weight of the sign, then if there's a possibility if you can put another chain on there, or at that point you might want to do 2 rings, kind of like a key ring, and have a rope or something. So I could give you a better idea if I go ahead and have the sign made, but I don't know. I mean, the sign's not just for my nail videos, like I said, which are almost at a screeching halt, honestly, unless I do another one of, okay, now I'm just going to pretend like I'm doing actual full set. I'm going to go through all the drilling and everything like that, go through the steps, and see if I feel that I'm missing anything. I might even have the steps printed out or written down. Because like I said, other than that, the practice comes with the application. And so at least having the steps down would be a good thing. And then the 3D. I'm kind of picturing the 3D ice cream I want to try. And I'm going to have to go back and look, I believe, at one of my last 2 nail videos to see what powder that was, because it was a little easier for me to work with it. And that's the color I would want the scoops. And then I can kind of go from there. How would I make it look like it has sprinkles if I wanted it to look like it has sprinkles? If I wanted it to look like it has a cherry or 2 on top, what would I choose to do? Would I choose to take one of those brushes from one of the sets and take paint, would I attempt to actually make the cherry powder? Because I do have red powder. I think the one that is like red, not the one where I thought it was going to be like a bright red and it ended up being like a reddish orange, closer to an orange, which is actually the color I just took off my toes, then it might have to be the red sparkly powder. Or by then, would I have the red powder? But I don't think so, because I don't see the point in ordering any more powders, any more brushes, or anything until I can do my own nails. So I think I'm just going to work with what I have. So the cherry might be a different color. And then in the neon polishes, neither one of the boxes, let me think, the ones that glow, and they're not all neon, some are just like a bright color. No, there's no red in either one of those boxes. That'd be kind of cool if I could have had a glow-in-the-dark red cherry on this 3D ice cream cone that I'm gonna try. So, like I said, there might be another nail video or two, but I really, and I know I've been saying this every day, I really need to crack down on my practicing. But yeah, so I kind of feel like since everything's going slow with the room, we've done nothing to it, no progress has been made on it, I kind of feel like ordering the sign would be kind of pointless, at least for now. So, and plus, well, no, I don't know if I would add it to the all supplies list, seeing as how if I'm recording in that room, if I'm doing a nail video, of course it would be on to say that I'm recording. So, yeah, the sign is kind of on the no list right now. Okay, so did pretty good today. 36 minutes, 11 seconds. And you guys, I think I forgot. Oh no, we had a 6-minute credit, right? So how about this? We'll stop this video at 37 minutes since we're so close. That will mean we use 3 minutes of our 6-minute credit. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll remember the other 3 minutes. Okay, because I have other things I need to do. There's always something around the house that needs to be done. And so I just gotta get in there, get cleaned up. And I think my blueberries are not good enough to eat anymore. So I don't think I can do any fruit today unless I go buy a whole nother set of all the fruits. But we are at 37 minutes, 1.19 for distance, 127 calories. I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. And as you guys can see, I also remembered to do my bun. I think I like this. I like not having my hair swing down to the sides of my face. That was really irritating, and I thought I remembered to put it up. So from now on, my hair will probably be up in a bun. And when it gets time to start wearing like the winter wear, stuff like that, and I'll probably have like a beanie or whatever too as well, because it gets really cold out in this garage. Like that garage gets cold, but this one gets really cold in the winter. So then I'll just have it like tucked underneath or something like that, because I definitely don't want it down my face, and with the beanie on, I won't have to worry about that. I just gotta worry about where are they. I was pretty good about having my winter wear in a specific spot, even down to like winter PJs and stuff like that, but that is the only thing right now. I honestly know where it's at, and then a couple of beanies, I have like a designated drawer, so hopefully I put them all back in there, and they should be all washed and ready, but I might just wash them again just to prep them when it gets closer to getting cold. But right now it is not cold, as you can tell. I'm not just sweating because of this walk, I'm sweating because it's hot in here. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Let's see, I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to order the sign, but if I do, I'll let you guys know. And then the color choice I was going to choose was red. Red is usually a sign of like a warning, right? And so I thought if the sign lights up red, then that should be like really noticeable. Obviously, I don't think I would want it yellow. I don't know how bright it would be. So I'm kind of going back and forth between the red and the yellow, but I think I'm going to stick with red. And then tomorrow, I saw about that tomorrow. I will let you guys know if they responded back and if the emoji is a yes or no. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. And as always, thank you guys for watching. And I hope, like I said, you're seeing the results that you want to see. If not, get as close as you can get. I mean, for me, I personally feel better knowing that at least I've dropped about 25, maybe 30 pounds. I would say about 20, right, since I'm fluctuating with the walk from February to now. But remember, I lost weight from January to February and I wasn't doing anything. And it wasn't like I was sick, so I was eating even less than I already do or anything like that. I wasn't drinking more water. I have no clue, like I said, how I lost those pounds in between that time period. It wouldn't even have been a full month. So I have no clue like how that happened. But that, yes, overall, if I were to stay in between 25 to 30 pounds, then yeah. But with the walk, then for sure, I can prove that I've lost 20, right? Because I kept record and I showed you guys. So I'm happy about that. I was going to start showing the scale again, just in case I don't write it down, because you guys know it's not going to send any information over. My Omada subscription, membership, whatever you want to call it, was over in a year for it to be free. And like I said, it's not worth $20 a month. So once the numbers are off the scale, they're off. They don't send to any other app. So yeah, still trying to make sure that if I see like, okay, all right, I'm going back down, I need to document it, then I got to get in the habit of, like I said, having that notebook right there, because you only have a certain amount of time before. Once you see those little dashed red lines, that's it. Usually it would say sent, but it's not going to send anywhere. So yeah, but I have to get in here and just get done whatever I have to get done. I don't know. There's tons of stuff around the house to do. So I'm going to be busy for the rest of the day. I thought about practicing, but that's the other hard thing. Honestly, you guys, I'll tell you guys this really quick. So the hard part about practicing to do nails, and it not just being literally the day that I'm going to do them, whether I record or not, is the time. You would think I would have the time to sit down and practice, and I really kind of don't. So it's kind of like I'll have to get into the habit of what I did with the walk, whether I was going to record it or not, and designate some time, because I mean, you're like, okay, well, I need to dust. Okay, well, I need to clean off my countertops. I need to do laundry. If I do the laundry for the linens and stuff like that, for the bed or whatever, I have to change the bed, right? And so it's like one thing after. I have to eat. I have to get cleaned up. I mean, I'm not going to, well, it would be perfect to clean right now because I'm already sweaty, right? But even with that, it just gets to where I just simply have to find the time. And this is why I think I'm kind of glad that I did not decide to go to cosmetology school, because even if we didn't have all these events coming up within the next month or so, and I know that I could dedicate down to it. I don't know what I thought I just saw, but there's nothing up there. Okay, that's actually a good thing. But yes, I think that would be the only way. I would have just been thrown into it, right? But being able to decide whether or not I practice, that's the difficult part. But I'm not going to put us in more debt just to make myself practice, because it would be a step further and I would have clients there at the school. So yes, designating time to do it. Like I said, whether I decide to record or not is a whole different thing. So I didn't really think it wouldn't have been something I wouldn't have stuck with, but maybe because it's an ongoing thing. I always bring up my car because that's a project that, like I said, that was all one take, one video, minus obviously the dry time. There was 25 minutes in between each dry time, and there was 8 coats for all the chrome on the car. You guys, if you saw the video, if you haven't seen it, yes, I did the whole chrome delete all at one time, all on one video, and I just paused. And then I came back and did another coat. I didn't come back for every coat either. So I did like coat 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 on recording, and I came back for like 5, and then came back for like 7, and then I came back, I think, for the last coat while it was drying. Then I showed you guys, and I don't remember if I removed the plastic or anything like that. So even with painting the calipers, I did that first. Even with that, you have to wait 10 minutes in between each coat, between your clear coat, your primer, and then your painting for your calipers. And so even though it goes a lot faster, like after you clean the calipers first with the brake cleaner, don't forget to do that, and wear the proper safety equipment, your goggles and your nitrile gloves and stuff like that. Don't think you can get those gloves that you use for something else, like I call it blue gloves, so doctor gloves, or those clear gloves. They're kind of like a light yellow. No, that's not going to do it. They're not thick enough. So yeah, please don't do that, because you're gonna make yourself sick. Between the fact that brake cleaner is extremely strong, okay, not just the chemicals that are used. I mean, when you inhale it and stuff like that, like it literally will make you sick. So, and that's the first process before you even can prime your calipers. So, even with that video, what you guys didn't see was all the pausing for all the dry times. But the dry time it would take to do that is not the same as the dry time it took for me doing a chrome delete. But I think it was because there was going to be a finished product, and then the maintenance of it, how to take care of the car after versus how it was before, you know, being able to go through a car wash versus having to hand wash it, because you have to worry about the polish that comes down in the water, and the fact that they recycle some of the water at the car washes, right? But I think the difference between, I can honestly tell you, between trying to learn how to do my nails and getting back to being able to paint my toes and stuff like that, that is an ongoing thing, right? If you've ever gotten them done, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to keep getting them done, or you're the type of person that you only get them done for, what do you call that? Like different events, weddings, birthdays, stuff like that, Valentine's Day. But taking it off, it does hurt, because even if you soak it, at some point you have to do something. You have to do some scraping, like that cuticle pusher or something, or you have to like use a drill or something. Or if you go to the shop, at some point they are going to have to use an electrical drill, the e-file thing, you know, to get the rest of the stuff off. So there's going to be some slight pain somewhere in the process of removing it, and it's harder to remove when it's a full set that you're removing, that you just literally got done, let's say the week or 2 weeks before, 2 weeks before. Okay, so the longer you have the full set, eventually, even if they just want to clip and take the fake nail and go, you know, in between your nail and the powder and pop that stuff off, and you know that hurts like no one's business, right? Even with that, or especially with that, if you don't consistently get them done all the time, that hurts. Okay, so if you have a high pain tolerance, it's still going to hurt. So I think that's the difference. It's just that's done. It's finished. I mean, it was just, did it tear? Do I need to repair it? Do I need to just paint it all over again? Did it splatter? Get that thing you put on top of your spray can, that sprayer, invest your $10 or $11 on that to put on top of your spray can. Okay, whether you're painting your calipers, or whether you're doing your chrome delete, whether you use hyper dip or whether you use plasti dip, or let's just say you go a little bit more hardcore and you kind of scuff up your chrome. I think you kind of have to if you want to use regular paint. I thought that the chrome would react the same way the calipers would, and then I was going back and forth with one of my viewers, and we were talking, just exchanging ideas and stuff like that, and they advised me that if I wanted to peel off all that paint and actually make it more permanent, to scuff up the chrome. And I was like, oh, because you need it to, you know, stick. It needs to be kind of the same concept of when you do your nails, when you're putting on a full set. You're not trying to foul your fingernail off, obviously, but you want it to have a slightly rough surface. And so apparently, from what I was told with the chrome, it's kind of the same thing. So I was kind of happy that I didn't go with a more permanent paint, like the high temperature paint I did for the calipers. But like I said, you're eventually done with that, and your nails is an ongoing process. So not making excuses, I'm just letting you guys know, if you're thinking about starting, it is a little difficult to commit. And I can tell you personally, it's not going to necessarily have anything to do with you, whether you want to do it or not. Finding the time, setting out that block to practice, whether you get a mannequin hand or not, or a mannequin finger, or whether you're like, I'm just going to practice my nails are going to kind of go through it, you know, because I mean, doing all that stuff to it is going to damage them some. However you choose to do it, or your friends are going to help you out, getting into that routine, it's not going to be even that you don't want to do it. It's going to be finding the time, and it's going to be the consistency and how often you think you have to practice to get better. So all of that plays a factor in it. It's not the same as even with that. Because like I said, if you mess up, Like if you get spots, you might as well just let it dry for 2 to 3 minutes with the hyper dip. Take your toothpick, make a hole, peel it off. It peels off just like tape, and start over from coat 1. Even that, I have to say, it's so crazy, was easier than learning to do my nails. Honestly. You're like, chrome deleting your car was easier? Yes, it was. I don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Discourage, I guess, right? You from trying, but the amount of time it takes and the patience, especially if I call myself a super beginner like I am, hopefully you don't hit a wall like I did to where it's like a stop for what, like I said, 6 months, you guys, oh my gosh. You think on one hand, it gives you time to practice, but everything else, as you know, doesn't stop. All the other stuff you have to do, especially if you add in, if you're working, if school, if you have kids, stuff like that, all of that doesn't stop. So anyone that's able to designate time, it's not even about being able to commit. It's about getting a time block to when you can sit down and actually do it. Because you might have so many other things you're already committed to, so many other responsibilities that you have. Okay, so I say, I value you guys. I say great job. I think the word's commend. I think if I'm using that correctly, I really commend you on if you're able to do it, even if you're not planning on becoming a nail tech, because I can tell you, my schedule is not as busy as it used to be, and still just sitting down, designated time, laying everything out. Okay, oh, I forgot the dust collector, all that stuff. Oh, let me turn the house fan on because the monomer and the acetone has very strong scent. I don't care if it's EMA monomer, it's still gonna smell pretty strong. And then like just the setup alone of whatever you're gonna use to practice for that day takes time. Okay, so before you get started, then, I mean, yeah, you're like, okay, everything's good, everything's set. Like with me, with my nail videos, what I would do is I would set some of the stuff up before I would come in, or I come out here to do my walk. Okay, so even if you record other stuff, especially if you're monetized and you want to have another video that you want to try and get monetized, because apparently I think you monetize and then you apply per video, per short. You don't just, if I remember correctly, unless they changed it, once you get the approval, all your videos are not just automatically, I think, monetized. Especially if there's no commercials or ads or whatever you want to call them, right? So it's just, that's the most tedious thing besides learning to do nails is doing YouTube. Honestly, the recording, all that stuff, I would have to say in comparison, that is the next thing I can compare it to. So if you do both already, or if you plan on like, yeah, I'm gonna do just nail videos, my whole nail journey, this is the beginning, this is the end, and that's what keeps you going, then that's good. But when you're recording for separate, different, totally different reasons, like obviously I'm not gonna try and do my nails while I'm walking on the treadmill, even if I was walking flat, you know what I mean? So it's just the time. It's the time. Don't let anyone tell you like, oh, you just don't want to commit. Oh, well, you know, you got to actually make yourself do it and stuff like that, because it has to fit in your schedule somewhere. So all I can say is that is my encouragement to you is if you practice more some weeks and you do other weeks, or you don't practice for a couple weeks, just don't beat yourself up over it, because once you start doing it, you don't know what it's like until you actually sit down and start doing it, or you start looking at what do I need just to do basics. If I just want to do clear powder and just get really good at painting on top, and if you're going to do gel, that's a whole nother thing, right? That little putty stuff, it is. You need a whole nother set of products, possibly maybe less, maybe more, depending. You may not be able to e-file that off. I don't even know. You might have to drill it off. Not drill it, I'm sorry, that's the same thing. You might have to soak it off. You know, and they do tell you to soak for the gel and stuff like that. And if the little gel putty stuff is already a color, you know, if you're like, well, the color didn't come out as bright as I want, I brought the same color polish. Now you get into, is it gel polish? Is it regular polish? If it's gel polish, do I have to cure it? Because you don't have to cure all gel polishes, right? Some of it you can actually just let it air dry. Okay, so you learn all types of things, but yeah, so just don't get discouraged. Like I said, I don't want to deter you from it, if I'm using that word correctly. So hopefully that helps kind of encourage you as well, because this ain't working. No, And even if I were to just paint them, no. And I know for people that don't really get them done, they're like, oh no, it looks fine. Like, oh no, don't worry about it. Let's say none of my nails actually had anything wrong with them. Let's just say I just wanted them to breathe. I couldn't keep them like this for this long as I have to keep them this. If it wasn't for me having to treat my nails, they'd be on right now. I'm past the, oh, don't polish, don't clear coat, don't paint them. It's starting to look less and less awkward, but it's because I have to make myself get used to it, because the alternative is I would end up making them worse. And I wouldn't want them to have to remove something. Like my husband said, like the tip of my finger. Yeah, no. So I have to get used to it because I have to. And it doesn't look as bad as it used to, because before it really would have irked me. But being that the other ones are really healthy, they're actually pretty sturdy. I'm surprised, even when they grow a little bit, but I just keep them cut down because I can't do anything else to them. And the other nails, I can do nothing to them, right? Except for treat them. So yeah, it's a whole set of things. And like I said, until you're actually doing it, you can tell the person whatever you want to tell them, but please don't tell them like, oh, you're just not focused enough, and it's like, or, oh, you just, well, I guess you didn't really want to do it. It doesn't end up being about that. It really does take time. It really does. And if you don't have the right drill bits on top of that, or if you don't have a strong enough drill, that actually plays a part, because at some point you do have to take the stuff off, even if you're going to put stuff back on, start with a fresh new full set. Okay. Be like, what, this time I don't have time to soak them. I got this wedding or whatever to go to, might be your own wedding, whatever, right? You got good enough to do them yourself. Like I said, it really is about being able to designate time for it and then doing it. Okay, so yeah, just my little motivational message. I haven't really given one in a while anyway, so there's my motivational message, right? We'll just count it as that. All right, you guys, like I said, this time I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.